You want to know how it feels to come home after 7 years away and find your whole legacy hijacked by a bunch of wannabe land pirates. Let me give you the short version. It's like walking into your own living room and seeing strangers throwing a party with your stuff, smiling like they belong there. That's what hit me hard the second my old Ford rolled down Blaine Ranch Road, gravel popping under the tires, sun burning the sky above Carbon County, Wyoming. Yeah, my granddad's kingdom. You want a hook? How about this? 7 years gone, I come back to claim my land, find a dog park, a forged lease, and an HOA queen ready to bulldoze my family's history. They picked the wrong guy, you know what I mean? I get out, boots hitting the ground, and the first thing I see isn't my granddad's weathered arch or that crooked old mailbox with his initials. It's a brand new steel gate painted HOA beige cameras and a big vinyl sign, Eagle Crest, HOA dog training grounds. Private members only. I just stood there for a minute letting my blood pressure spike because what the hell, right? That fence line. It wasn't ours. They'd ripped out every cedar post and put up chain link and barbed wire. The road I used to ride down on horseback as a kid was gone, paved over, curving away from where my family's porch once stood. And in its place, dog agility tunnels, plastic ramps, the whole circus. First thing I think is squatters, but this is organized. This is worse. There's a prefab security shack right by the gate, some guy with a tablet, and I walk up slow, trying not to lose it. "You the owner here?" I ask. He glances up, cocky. "You HOA." When I say no, he grins. "Then you're trespassing, bud." I just stare at him, say, "This land's been in the Blaine family since 1923. I'm Elliot Blaine." That gets his attention. He jumps up like I just pulled a gun, tries to act tough. "We've had this under HOA for years, man. You're not on the list. You need to leave before I call management." I laughed, honest to God, because the nerve of this guy, buddy, I am the management. Unless your HOA's got a time machine, you've got no legal hold here. I get back in my truck and pull up the county land registry on my phone. Heart pounding. Sure enough, Elliot J. Blaine, sole beneficiary, Blaine Family Trust, 160 acres still in my name, no liens, no transfers, nothing about any HOA. But there's something else, a document tagged from 3 years ago, Eagle Crest Hills Expansion Review, with a zoning proposal and a boundary map. My whole ranch is shaded green, marked common use pending claim. I know that trick. It's legal squatting. We think this is ours unless someone screams. So I call the county recorder, get Bev on the line, the kind of tired but sharp woman you want on your side. I tell her what I'm looking at, dog park gates, asphalt, where my house should be. She taps her keyboard, tells me I'm still the legal owner. Trust in good standing, last tax paid 2 months back. Looks like HOA tried to redraw lines, claim unused land. They filed, but it stalled. I'll check the signature on your consent form. I didn't sign anything, and Bev's like, "Didn't think so. Give me a day, we'll catch the forgery." I hang up, stare at the dog park, and I'm not even mad. I'm icy. Tomorrow, bolt cutters if I have to. If some Karen thinks she can turn my legacy into a dog playground, she's got another thing coming. By sunrise, I'm back, toolkit and thermos rattling. I barely slept, spent the night digging through overlays, maps, all the files Bev sent. The HOA map is a joke my land erased from the trust, new lot number slapped on, like it's just another house on a cul-de-sac. The signature authorizing it, my name in kindergarten scrawl. Amateurs. I cut through the lock with my angle grinder and chain it up with my own. 2 college kids I hired show up to help, paying cash, no questions. We clear rubble, mark original boundaries, slap up big laminated private property not subject to HOA signs. Found the old survey pin buried under fake turf 27 feet inside my line. I document everything. Mid-morning, a black Mercedes SUV tears up the drive, dust cloud trailing. Out steps the queen bee herself, khaki pants, pastel blazer, platinum sunglasses. She doesn't even introduce herself, just barks, "You need to stop this. You're trespassing, violating HOA code." I smile, wipe the sweat off, say, "Which part of this is your land again?" She snaps back. Parcel 53, Shared Recreational Use Section 5.4, you're not on the roster. I hand her my deed overlays and affidavit. Here's the real ownership, Karen. You have no jurisdiction. She ignores the folder, dials her phone. Calling HOA enforcement and the sheriff. You'll be cited for criminal trespass. 20 minutes later, Deputy Ray Calder pulls up. Local knows me from way back. Karen's ranting about hostile occupation and imposter landowners. Ray just asks, "You got documentation?" I hand it over. He looks it through slow, then tells Karen, "Ma'am, this land isn't HOA. It's not even zoned for that. He's the rightful owner. You're the one trespassing." She sputters, threatens to take it to the board, but Ray's not having it. "You're not issuing fines. You're not calling anyone on his land, and you're not putting up another camera." Karen storms off, spinning gravel, and Ray just grins. "You gonna be okay?" "Yeah." More fences to fix, more lies to untangle. He laughs. "Welcome home, Blaine." Next couple days, I'm working sunup to sundown, restoring the perimeter, tracing old fence lines. Then a silver Tahoe shows up, Ridgeline Realty. Slick realtor thinks I'm the help, here for pre-listing walkthrough parcel 53. I hand him the real deed overlays, all of it. There's no sale, no listing. HOA has no authority. He's flustered, shows me a lease signed by me in 2016. I wasn't even in Wyoming in 2016. The signature's a drunken mess, no witness. I snap a photo. That's forged. You need a lawyer, not a tape measure. He says, "We were told locks were installed for HOA access." I find a new keypad lock on my old gate, installed by Prairie Fence, paid for by HOA, signed by Kay Fitzroy, Karen herself. I call the sheriff, report everything lock forged, lease GPS log showing I was 2 states away when this lease was signed. Deputy shows up, sees the paperwork, and finds a new filing. HOA tried to reclassify my land as abandoned communal zone yesterday using the fake lease. That's fraud, plain and simple. The realtors pack up and leave in a hurry, and I stand there staring at a lock on my own gate, paid for by thieves. Karen just made this a federal case. Next morning, the sabotage starts. My grandfather's well dug by hand is busted open, concrete poured inside pump and filtration system, ruined water table, possibly contaminated. Someone dumped industrial trash all over the field, tried to make it look like I'd turned my land into a dump. Then a county inspector shows up, anonymous complaint, environmental violations. I tell her, "Go ahead, take samples, but bring a criminal investigator while you're at it. This wasn't here yesterday, and I've got footage to prove it." She finds the same industrial sabotage felony territory. I check local contractor logs, find a job for concrete at my coordinates logged under the HOA the evening before. I send it to my lawyer, pull motion camera footage from a birdhouse truck workers, then Karen's white Lexus right there on video. By afternoon, the sheriff and a county detective are on site opening a criminal case. That evening, I get an email from HOA, "You are fined $12 to $500 for environmental breach." Karen actually puts her crime in writing, tries to pin it on me. I forward the email to my attorney with a note, "Add this to the bonfire." Days later, it gets worse. A developer, Marcus Hall, calls about a signed lease for 24-unit luxury townhomes, HOA authorization from legal representative Karen Fitzroy. They've already paid earnest money, have shell companies funneling usage rights, fake power of attorney signed, of course, the same month I was deployed overseas. Notaries, a fraud address is dead. I call the sheriff, demand a full fraud investigation, document analyst, halt on all transactions. The evidence stacks up fast. Real deed notarized by a military judge, fake signature copied from my old driver's license. The county fraud clerk goes pale. This isn't just forgery, it's a chain fraud. By the next day, 3 investigators, state notary commission, and the Wyoming Board of Realtors are all on my ranch collecting proof, fake fencing, dog, field drone footage, GPS logs. My lawyer files for an emergency injunction. That night, Karen gets served at her front door, turns ghost white. Next morning, the big guns arrive. State fraud unit press everyone watching as my case blows open. It's not over. At 2:43 a.m., motion camera catches 3 figures, cement mixer hoodies. They dump concrete in my well again. By the time the sun's up, there's more contamination, water lines ruined. Inspectors back county flags it as a critical violation. Footage catches Karen on site barking orders. She creates the damage, then files the report to blame me, time-stamped proof. Even the contractor's job logs put the truck at my property for an HOA request. Karen is now facing criminal charges, environmental vandalism, filing false reports. Her mugshots all over local Facebook groups, smeared eyeliner, stunned like she didn't see it coming. But she's still desperate. Someone tries to break into my shipping container, leaves threats in the mailbox. One envelope with a dead rattlesnake. I turn it all over to the sheriff. Harassment added to the charges. My civil suit for fraud, property conversion, punitive damages moves forward. Judge grants access to HOA financials. Turns out Karen paid herself, funneled funds, signed off on fake leases for her daughter, ran the whole thing like a one-woman Ponzi scheme. By the end of the week, Judge freezes HOA assets. Members start resigning. Some show up, apologizing, hand me emails where Karen tried to justify the land grab for the good of the community. Irony, huh? Her community's finally seeing her for what she is. Final hearing, courtrooms packed. Press neighbors, all eyes on us. Karen walks in with a public defender, looks like she's shrunk a foot. My lawyer lays out everything. Real deeds maps video of Karen with the cement mixer, the fake power of attorney. Prosecution follows with contractor logs, environmental reports, the HOA's empty bank account, and her phony developer emails. Defense tries to claim clerical errors. Judge isn't buying it. Do you understand what felony property fraud means? Silence. The verdict's swift. Blaine Ranch was never HOA. All attempts at ownership were fraud documents. Forged environmental sabotage, a felony. Karen gets 12 years, no parole before 5. HOA is dissolved, assets seized to clean up the mess. Sheriff oversees the eviction. The signs come down. I stand on my land at sunset wind, clearing dust from the field where my granddad's porch used to be. That night I pour a drink and start drawing plans for the new house, stone cabin, solar roof, private sign at the gate. This is still my land. And to anyone watching who thinks justice is a joke, tell me, how far would you go to defend your legacy? Drop your story below. Hit share. Tell me if you've ever seen an HOA go too far, because out here some of us are done being pushed.